Okay. Everybody's question. How do you stop it? Well, we can disrupt the frequencies being emitted by this Gwen network by burying orgone generators. And if you go on educateyourself.org to learn more about that, but within a radius of 1,300 feet of those towers, if you do that, then basically it changes the frequency. So there's already orgone armies out there doing this. Also, you get fluoride filters for your water. Not all those little filters that you have cover, sift that fluoride out. If you boil fluoride, it only makes it worse. It groups together. So you need a specific filter. Go to readymaderesources.com and order those filters. They're made by Berkey. Also, as far as aspartame, it's in almost everything. It's in soft drinks. It's in, our gum. Just look at something and know what's in it before you consume it. But what else is there? Obviously, that's just the touching the tip of the iceberg. But how can you be controlled if you know you're being controlled, right? Awareness causes us to think before we act, to question our thoughts due to the war on our mind. Now, Mr. P, he has done a lot so far in actually collaborating with us and in developing a lot of this research together. So basically, he's already had a hand in all the research that's been presented today. But we're going to cover more of the spiritual aspect on how to kind of combat these things and what the Bible has to say about that. So, Mr. P, take it away.
Well, I was looking through the scriptures and I came across some stuff I didn't think that I would really find. Psalm 56, verse 5 and 6 talks about, "My enemies trouble me all the day long. They are always thinking up some way to hurt me. They gather in hiding places and watch everything I do, hoping to kill me." And that led me to thinking that they gather in hiding places. They are gathering in hiding places. Our enemies, and we don't even ask for enemies. We're trying to be people of peace here, people of love. But apparently we have enemies also. If David did, we did. But they were looking for ways to kill him, and they were watching him all the day long. And I thought, wow, that's pretty much right on target with our surveillance system that we're involved with now. With the cell phones, with everything. They know where you are. They can track you. They have little trackers that are thinner than a piece of hair.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, they're in all your iPod stuff. iPod, iPad, Apple computers. So yeah, definitely.
Right. And with the watching us all the day long, I'm thinking that's like the all-seeing eye, the one eye, and that's where we are today. And that book written that long ago is relevant today. Mm-hmm. And then I came to Psalm 73, verses 7 through 10, and it's really pretty much an expose on how these people think, how they operate, what's on their minds, what's in their hearts, and what's in their hearts is pure evil, and it says that it pours out of them. What's on their mind is evil schemes, wicked schemes. Basically they conspire to kill us, to destroy us, to bring destruction on us. Psalm 73, they speak evil of God in heaven and give arrogant orders to men on earth. And I'm thinking that I know some people that are giving arrogant orders to men on earth. I look at the TSA and what they're doing with people all across this country, and it's obviously it's arrogant orders.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
And then it says, even God's people turn to them and eagerly believe what they say. And this is the Good News version of the Bible. This is a modern English version, so if you're looking in a King James or wherever you stand on that issue, okay, I use the Good News Bible this time. So it says that even God's people eagerly believe what they say. And that's pretty much what you're talking about. And it was a big find for me because after coming to this knowledge, it's been finding that verse has really kind of showed me that the Bible is deeper and even more relevant than we thought.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Verse 12 goes on to say that that's what these people are like, and that's a description. Evil pours out of their hearts. They plan schemes. They laugh at us. They mock us. They want to oppress us,
mm-hmm.
and that's a situation we're finding ourselves in. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 3 talks about these false teachers. It calls them false teachers, and basically they will make a profit out of telling us stories that they make up. And when I see that, I'm thinking, wow, that's like that's what's happening today. That's our mainstream media,
mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that I don't watch TV anymore. If I get my news, I get it online, or I get it through friends that, people are that I trust, because I really don't trust the TV, and I don't think that I'm personally smart enough to know the difference between what's truth and what's fiction when I'm watching the news.
Well, especially when the government owns, the airwaves. They're
Right.
told what to say. Reporters don't want to report, the real news, because they could be called unpatriotic, and they've already been pretty much warned on that. And if you want to research that, I suggest doing that.
Yeah, I think most of them are bribed or blackmailed one way or another.
Or threatened.
But
Is a big one.
Another thing, as far as who these people are, and again in 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 13, in the Good News version of the Bible, it says that they pleasure in doing things in broad daylight. That's I think of some of the major conspiracy theories out there. Okay, that's pretty much what happens. They do things in broad daylight. And you look at some of the great examples. I mean, JFK and 9/11. I don't know if I should be bringing that stuff up, but look at it. It's done in broad daylight, and you and I may do things in broad daylight, but we repent. These people don't. They thrive on it. It's their pleasure. It's their joy. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 9 and 10 talks about this wicked one that comes. He's going to come with the power of Satan and do miracles and wonders. And if you look up the definition, miracles, it's not necessarily a good thing. It's just an extraordinary thing, not necessarily a good thing. So when it says that he brings and he does miracles and wonders, every kind of wicked deceit to the people that will perish, that's the goal. He wants to lead us into perishing. Okay, so it says they will perish because they did not welcome and love the truth, so as to be saved. So to answer your question, well, what do we do? What are we supposed to do now? According to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 10, we're to love the truth and to welcome the truth, and that's how we're saved. And also in Psalms chapter 120 verse 2, it says, Lord, save me from the liars and the deceivers. And I thought that's really pertinent for today. I mean, that's a great prayer for today. Lord, save us from the liars and the deceivers, because they are surely working wonders on us invisibly through these elf and the harp and the Gwen and these things that they have going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. God's the only way out, and that they noticed too that frequencies, people are religious or spiritual, like shamans or just straight up religious people, spiritual people, they resonate at that harmonious frequency. So the closer you get to God, the closer that you will resonate what is true, what is harmonious. So the further you get away from that, the more destructive you will be, and more susceptible that you're going to be to the things that are out there, to infect us, more or less, like a disease. I mean, like a virus. So, I agree with all those being said. Pray, obviously pray and get right with God. Because, yeah, if you want to seek truth, if you're protected by the truth isn't out there. You're not going to be watching the TV. You're not going to find it on the news, because everything's being regulated. The radio, all of our mainstream media. You got to seek the truth. You have to seek it. Actually try to find the truth. That's the only way that, you're gonna get by. I found a really good article by this guy. His name's Paul Levy, on this website called awakeninthedream.com, and it's called The War on Consciousness, because that's basically our enemy. I mean, all these things being said, all these evil guys that are out there, they're being manipulated by the dark side, okay? The dark side is real, and he's in our minds, and he's in our souls, and he's in our hearts. If we don't pay attention, all these people will just more or less shadow project everything that they have on us, and we are going to become a part of them without us even knowing it. So this is our battle, right up here in our head. And this is what he said. Because of their position of power, these sick few can control the masses by manipulating events in the world, as well as playing with our perceptions. They are tapping into how, in managing our perceptions, they can literally create events, and in creating events, they can manage our perceptions. This is a divine secret, but in tapping into it with an impure heart, where power is prioritized over love, it is always destined for failure. So what is happening in the world, in our world, has more the feeling of an invasion from a parallel universe than a physical coup d'etat. This is because the intrusion is taking place on the plane of the mind. and only secondary on the physical plane. If we could stop this covert incursion into our minds, it would be much easier to imagine or to mitigate the outer wars that plague our world. Once we see clearly what is being perpetrated in our name, we can come together and conspire to co-inspire so as to awaken and mobilize our collective genius, which is a power greater than any weapon of mass destruction. In actuality, our connecting and shared lucidity in the antidote to all WMDs is what I call a WMC, a weapon of mass consciousness. It is what becomes activated when enough of us come together and see or become conscious of what is happening. For truth, to quote the infamous Nazi minister of propaganda Joseph Goebbels, is the greatest enemy of the state. Truth is the greatest enemy of the state. They will do whatever they can to hide the truth from us. So in short, reclaim your mind, shut off your phone, TV, laptop, get back to the basics. If you don't know God, get to know Him. He's our greatest defense against the mental barrage of bullets that are targeting our very souls through our mind, thus corrupting our body and its members. If you believe what I'm saying is true, then if you don't believe what I'm saying is true, get down to the nitty gritty and show me otherwise. I'm open to opinions. I want to hear what you got to say. I'm like one of very few people out here that are actually digging into the dirt and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with our country, what's going on with our world, what's going on with our people. You know, any more people that got something to say about it, I would love your feedback. Okay, I would love it. I got an open mind. Do you? You know, or are you just busy feeding the machine? Where do you stand on that? So we just want to thank you today for joining us once again. Again, this is Ginger Snaps with the Hard Facts.
Ginger Snaps, I'm Mr. P. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. We'll see you guys next time.